Hello, my beautiful learners. Welcome back to Simple English Hub, the space where we grow together, one word at a time. Today, I'm not here to teach you grammar rules, pronunciation tricks, or language hacks. Instead, I want to share something far more personal, something real. This is the story of how I went from struggling to form even the simplest English sentence to speaking fluently and confidently in just 3 months. Yes, just 3 months. I know that might sound unbelievable. Maybe you're thinking, there's no way that's possible, or that could never happen for me. And honestly, I used to think the same way. I was frustrated, lost, and overwhelmed. English felt like a giant mountain I could never climb. I would listen to people speak fluently and feel like an outsider, someone who would never truly belong in that world. I avoided conversations. I doubted myself constantly. I was scared of making mistakes, of being judged, and worst of all, of failing. But something inside me changed. I reached a point where I was tired of holding myself back. I was tired of being silent in a world where I had so much to say. I made a decision, not a wish, not a dream, a real decision to change my life. I told myself, 3 months, give it everything you've got. No excuses, no turning back. And that's exactly what I did. Now, I want to be clear. This wasn't some kind of miracle. It wasn't about having a talent for languages. It was about showing up every single day, even when I didn't feel like it. It was about building habits that supported my goal, pushing through fear, and learning from every mistake instead of running from them. I surrounded myself with English in every way possible. Watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading books, speaking out loud to myself, and yes, even thinking in English. I turned my environment into my classroom and my determination into fuel. In this video, I'll take you through the exact steps I followed, the struggles I faced, and the mindset shifts that helped me succeed. This isn't a success story to impress you. It's a truthful story to inspire you. Because if I can go from 0 to fluent in 3 months, I promise you, you can too. You just need the right approach, the right mindset, and the belief that it's possible. So grab a notebook, settle in, and let me take you on the journey that changed my life forever. Let's begin. 1. I spoke English out loud. Every single day. One of the biggest turning points in my English journey was simple but powerful. I spoke English out loud every single day. I didn't wait for a classroom. I didn't wait for a teacher. I became my own speaking partner. Even when I was alone, I talked to myself in English, describing what I was doing, what I was thinking, or what I planned to do that day. At first it was awkward. I'd say things like, "Today I go," "No, I'm going to the market," or "I drinked," "No, drank coffee this morning." I made mistakes constantly, but I wasn't afraid. Every mistake was a lesson, not a failure. Speaking out loud helped me train my tongue, my brain, and my confidence. I didn't worry about being grammatically perfect. I focused on getting my message out. Over time, the fear of speaking disappeared. I could express myself freely, and that's when fluency really began to grow. 2. I listened to English like it was music. Another major shift came when I changed what I listened to every day. I stopped playing music and shows in my native language and replaced them with English content, podcasts, YouTube videos, news reports, and TV series. In the beginning, it was frustrating. I couldn't understand everything. Sometimes I felt lost, but I didn't stop. I treated English like background music. I played it while cooking, walking, or cleaning. My ears began to recognize the rhythm, the expressions, and the tone of native speakers. Phrases like, "No worries," "I get it," and "that makes sense" started to feel natural. Even though I didn't understand every word, I absorbed the language through context. Eventually, I noticed a big change. I was no longer translating in my head, I was thinking in English. That's when I knew my listening skills were unlocking a new level of fluency. 3. I focused on smart phrases, not boring grammar. Let's be honest. Traditional grammar study can be boring and overwhelming, especially when you're just starting. So I made a decision. I stopped memorizing rules and started learning real phrases that people actually use. Instead of studying tenses, I focused on expressions like, "I've just finished," "I've never tried that," or "I've been there." These are all in the present perfect tense, but I didn't even need to know the grammar name to use them correctly. Each day I chose 10 useful phrases. I practiced saying them, writing them, and using them in sentences. These phrases were like building blocks. I could mix and match them to express many ideas. It made my English sound natural and confident, not like a textbook. I wasn't just learning how English works, I was learning how to use English to communicate. That's what fluency is all about. I found speaking partners online. Speaking to myself helped, but speaking with real people took my English to another level. I searched for English-speaking groups on Facebook, Telegram, and WhatsApp. Some were focused on daily practice, others on topic discussions. I didn't wait to be ready. I just joined and introduced myself. I started conversations, asked questions, and responded to others. Of course, I made mistakes. I used the wrong tense. I misspelled words. But guess what? People corrected me, kindly. And every correction was a gift. I started doing voice chats with other learners. Sometimes we talked about hobbies, sometimes about goals. And each time, my confidence grew. The more I spoke, the more fluent I became. I stopped fearing judgment. I understood that fluency comes from communication, not perfection. 5. I built an English mindset. This was the most powerful lesson I learned. It wasn't just about grammar, speaking, or listening. It was about changing how I thought about myself. At first, I said things like, "My English is bad," or "I'm not good at languages." And every time I said that, I created limits for myself. So I flipped the script. I started saying, "I'm improving every day." Every word I learn is progress. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how I learn. I stopped chasing perfection. Instead, I focused on small wins, understanding a joke in English, completing a voice message, joining a group call. I celebrated those moments. They reminded me that I was getting better, step by step. Building a positive mindset made me brave, consistent, and proud. It turned English from a subject into a lifestyle. I wasn't just studying English, I was living it. Final thoughts. You can do this too. If I can learn English in 3 months, you can too. I didn't have perfect grammar, expensive courses, or a private tutor. What I had was consistency, curiosity, and courage. I spoke out loud every day. I listened to English all the time. I learned real phrases, not rules. I found people to practice with. And most importantly, I believed in my growth. Don't let fear stop you. Don't wait for the right time. Start today. Say one sentence out loud. Watch one video in English.